All right, week 4. Here we come. Here come the picks. I think this week is a good appetizer for next week. Like next week's going to be a lot of goodness. I mean, you got just off the beaten path. Just dream for a little bit. Like you got Georgia, you got Alabama. That's going to be fantastic. You got LSU and Ole Miss. What's the one right there in the middle that is enormous?
Penn State, Oregon.
Penn State, Oregon is massive.
Yep.
So I think like next week we're going to have some separation in the SEC and in the Big Ten. Like we're going to figure out who the contenders are. We're going to knock down the list a little bit. This week I think we got some. This week to me it's in the Big 12. Like you're going to find out in the Big 12 because we talked about a preseason. We talked about Arizona State a lot. We talked about Baylor a lot. Like, but now obviously both of them have losses to SEC teams, which is interesting in the way it's started for them with one losses. But Texas Tech and Utah, both of these teams, man, like. We knew Utah would bounce back. Like we counted on that. We absolutely counted on that because of Kyle Whittingham's track record. Like nobody doubted that, man. Like nobody doubted he forgot how to coach and he forgot how to do the details. Now, this team looks so different though. Like that's what's fun to watch. This is like Kyle Whittingham, I think it's his last year, Brent. Like everything I've heard, I think he's going to go out after this season. Yeah, you kind of turned your eyes up. I really do think so. But if he does, he'll go out with the most unique offense he's had. Like you haven't seen this type of you haven't seen this type of an now you saw it with Urban Meyer, but before him, lot. But just a running QB, a new system, a whole new OC, like so many new guys in the transfer portal, a lot of newness. And then Texas Tech kind of built their roster with everything new. Like they went into the store, bro, and they got the summer wardrobe, they got the winter wardrobe, like they got the store because the OC, the DC, like they spent all the money. So a lot of newness on both sides. And let's be honest, they ain't played the best schedule to date. So now you got Texas Tech, which you think you know a lot about, Utah, which you think you know a lot about. And the big thing to always keep in mind when we're picking these games, man, it's at Utah.
Yes. And by the way, so this is our first Nugget Platter game of the week. That's our main event, which I was going to ask you, do you prefer the nugget or the chicken finger?
Nugget. That's not a debate. If you prefer the chicken finger, you are absolutely wrong. Like
Publix chicken fingers, Raising Cane's.
Oh, no. That's
Huey
a different
Magoo's chicken
conversation.
fingers.
So when you say Nugget Platter, I immediately go Chick-fil-A. Like that's not a debate because they're the best. But I'm not getting Chick-fil-A chicken tenders. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever had the grilled chicken nuggets?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're freaking fantastic. So, like,
by the way,
we're not getting.
I'll tell you what's moving up on the rankings for me. Huey Magoo's grilled chicken.
Huey Magoo's is freaking fantastic. They're the grilled chicken skewers with all the sauces on the side. Like, Nicholas that's my son's favorite restaurant by far. But I know y'all didn't come to listen to that, but that's fantastic. Yeah. Good review. Huey Magoo's, you should check them out.
Yes. Nugget Platter. But when you said at Utah, what's most fascinating about the at Utah part, this is a 10 o'clock local kick. Noon game, big noon kickoff. But you mentioned the uniqueness of Utah's offense. And one of the things I was kind of looking at, we knew their O-line was going to be good. By the way, they're number one in the Power Four in terms of pass block efficiency. But the one thing that's going to be fascinating in this game is they are also number one in the Power Four in percentage of empty backfields, where it's just Devin Dampier sitting there. And what do you do when you have an empty backfield? You let your four-man D-line go eat. And Height, Gil Howard, David Bailey, Lee Hunter, Holmes Jr., those 5 new guys all have big-time PF grades.
Brought to you by the transfer portal. Bought to you by the transfer portal.
They have combined for 44 quarterback pressures, including 7 sacks. I actually put that stat on the the Red Raider Sports board, and I saw one of the responses was, "This is fun. This is really fun."
This is cool to see what it looks like to have defensive linemen that pressure the quarterback, that are big, that are physical. And if you don't have that, which a lot of the Big 12 does not have, if you don't have that, it's a wrap. Like, you're not going to beat Utah. And I think the fun thing to watch with Utah this year is they were 4-0 last season, and then they lost their next 7. So it got bad. Like, but obviously the first downs and the move the sticks, like 30 first downs in 2 of their first 3 games. Like, they had 26 in all of 2023. That was their highest in a game. Like, so, and 24. Like, this is a team that moves the sticks, runs the football, all kinds of fun ways, all kinds of different guys, whether it's Parker's or Rogers or Andrews. Hunter Andrews is really fun. Their tight end, he's got over 100 yards rushing this season. Like, they do it all kinds of ways, and they do it spacing you out, and they do it with a QB that is a tailback playing quarterback. And that's going to be, the interesting thing to me is how they want to play this. Do they set a tone for, do they set the precedent for how to play Utah? Because right now it's just so much go this way, stretch with the QB, other way. So Texas Tech's going to be stressed on defense. When I go to Texas Tech's offense, though, man, like, how do you not like Morton? How is he not one of your favorite guys, Brent, in all of college football? Because you should relate to this guy. Like, shorter, not very athletic, not the most overly gifted with the arm. Like, you should, like, Brent, if you don't know, Brent played QB in West Virginia. Like, he was an option quarterback. Like, you should identify with this guy, but, like, because he's shaking your head at me. He's got the it factor, though. Like, he understands how to read defenses. He understands what he's seeing, how to beat it. Like, that's what's been the most fun to watch about Texas Tech. He missed the spring, like, with his shoulder, but, like, it doesn't look like anything has mattered. And he's averaging 336 through the air a game in his last 5 starts. Like, 17 TD passes. Like, this is a team that's high flying, outscoring opponents a lot to a little, like, doing everything they want. And so, hey, how about this? I got this for you. This is the first time they've started 3-0 or better since who was the coach? It was 2013.
I'll say my guess would be Leach. Was that the Crabtree year?
Nah, that was 07, homie. That was 05, the Crabtree year.
Is that Cliff Kingsbury?
Cliff Kingsbury, baby. They won their first 7 and lost their next 5. I mean
that's kind of normal for him, actually, unfortunately.
Yeah, but
by the way, the only pushback I'm going to make there is the arm strength piece. So you know me like post Tommy John surgery. You didn't know me pre Tommy John, so that I gotta push back a little bit there. I could spin it back in the day.
You ain't no Morton.
Do you guys, when you obviously you coach high school football and you do the GPS stuff?
Oh yeah.
You track how many miles like somebody runs in a practice or how like distance.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What do you think Devin Dampiers is going to be in this game?
It's going to be a lot. Like, a lot's going to be on his shoulders for sure.
Yes.
And if you watch him, it literally is all stretch one way and him going the other way, rolling out even when he's throwing. Like, I think we're going to see Utah's defense really tested for the first time. But you want to know the difference in the game to me? Like, this is decided in one spot on the field. And I have 2 games like this week. This is decided in the red zone. Absolutely 100%. And I trust Utah in the red zone with Dampier and their running game more than I trust Texas Tech. And that's why I got this 28-27 at home. And the difference is more field goals for Texas Tech, more tutties for Utah.
I'm going flipping that. I think the defensive line is going to play really well in spite of who they're going against. And Dampier is going to kind of wear down. And Texas Tech, with the way they distribute things to their weapons, I think they win. I'm going to go like 30-24 Texas Tech.
Okay. But big shout out for Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week last week. 2 INTs versus Oregon State. He had 1 in 2 seasons at Mississippi State, but he's a shallow high school grad. My man, Bryce Pollack. Literally, no relation, but Bryce Pollack.
Let's go.
No relation whatsoever. It's Pollock. But literally, shout out to him. He was the player of the week last week. All right, Brent, while we're making these picks, man, like something for everybody to know, man. I found out about this app, downloaded it, smashed it. It's called Game Time. And when you download it and when you start to look at things, you can find all the different games, the different concerts, the stuff that are going on. And when you look at a price, dude, we're not adding all the fees. They're not adding all that stuff to it, man. The price is what it's going to be. And if you use Pollack as the promo code, you also get $20 off. So now back to picks, but don't forget to download that app because it is a awesome, awesome app.
We got 3 Nugget Platter games, 3 main games, by the way, all in each of the windows. 12 o'clock, 3:30, and then the other.
That's how it should be done. That's how we like it. That's yes. More fun to watch, absorb, soak in. Shoot, we'll give you the reactions anyways. We ain't got nothing else to do on a Saturday, man. We're sitting there watching the games regardless. But yeah,
Auburn-Oklahoma.
This is going to be fun, man. Like, I mean, this is fun. And again, I've talked about this, but Auburn, the identity crisis that is Auburn fans. Like, what are we, bro? Like, where do we stand? Are we closer to the top of the SEC or the bottom? Like, they've had this identity crisis, got a good chance to kind of figure it out this week. They started 3-0, and this is a good thing. Like, because we saw them last year. Last year, Brent, they didn't win their third game until the 8th game of the season. So it's not been good. They need to start fast. They need to continue. That's why the Baylor game was such a big game early, to get some mojo and to get rolling. So I love what Jackson Arnold's doing. I love how he's 192 yards rushing, on the season. That's second in the SEC. Who do you think he's second to? Who do you think is first in the SEC in rushing?
Oh, I actually know that because I looked it up. It's Taylon Green.
Taylon Green.
Oh, in terms of QBs, yes.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, second. Yeah. So Jackson Arnold, the playmaking. Jackson Arnold, can he simmer down a little bit? Like, I'm going to be very interested to see him in that environment at Oklahoma. You said earlier in the week, like, he's comfortable with that environment. Bro, he's going to have so much juice running through him. And can you simmer that down and use it on the field, use it when you run it, but not when you're in the pocket where you get happy feet? And I'm just telling you, man, that's a hard thing to do. It stinks. It's the hardest part of football, is to be able to control your emotions, to control your mind at the same time. And so I'll be so dialed in and locked in on it. Can he go through his reads? Can he stay in the pocket and make some big plays? Because Baylor was an indication of not there, bam, I'm gone. Break tackles. Yep. This is not Baylor's defense. This is not going to be the same type of challenge.
And the thing I worry about with that is not so much amped up like, hey, I overthrow a guy 10 yards. It's when he's running and he wants to inflict some punishment, and you don't forget about ball security.
And
you don't remember ball security.
He's had a problem with that.
Football.
That's been a problem with him for sure.
Yeah. And I'm sure Oklahoma fans are quite nodding their head in very much agreement. I think Venables and his ability to get varieties of pressures in this game, they're number one in the Power 4 and unblocked pressures. I think they're going to get more of that, even though Hugh Freeze, I think, will counter with a lot of offensive linemen and some max protect stuff.
You sound like you're saying a beatdown.
I don't think beatdown just because of the way Auburn can run the ball, but I think this is a 10-point Oklahoma win. I'm going 34-24.
I like it. All right. Oklahoma last year started off really good. Now they hadn't played Michigan up to this point, or a solid team, or been tested. But I'm interested to watch, man. The defense has allowed 0 points in the first quarter and 0 points in the fourth quarter this season. That gives you an idea of coaching and adjusting, and Venables and who he is. John Mateer, man, there's a reason I said he's the best player in college football. I'm not taking that back. I'll double down on that. At least one rushing touchdown and passing touchdown in 9 straight games. That's the longest active streak in the country. I think it's just he's too much. His ability to throw and run. And here's what worries me about Auburn. I think they can stay with him, but Sawyer Robertson threw for 419. And Baylor has good weapons. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, John Mateer's ability to run and throw, it's a hard thing to stop. And I think Oklahoma gets them. I think it's a 28-20 game. I do think Auburn can score some points, can hang around. I think Jackson Arnold will make plays with his feet, extend the sticks. And please take my saying, Brent. run the rock, and chuck it deep. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like for Auburn, they've got to, Coleman needs 6 or 7 shots.
One a quarter.
You're
you need
going
one a
to
quarter.
They're going to be aggressive. Venables is going to play that style. Like, let them know right off the jump. If you want to do that, bro, I'm going to take shots. And I got a Megatron out wide that can make contested catches. And so Auburn's had a great start to the season, but I think Oklahoma continues the mojo and gets the dub.
That's probably actually, when you think about it, next week, after we see the games this weekend, these are some separator type games. Might have to relook at maybe a replayoff prediction type deal.
That'd be fun.
Last Nugget Platter game, the night game, Illinois at Indiana. I have a feeling that, Brett Bielema and Coach Signetti, that they just dap it up and are laughing and having a good old time before the game. Hashtag sarcasm.
Hashtag Google me. Hashtag I'm in Indianapolis. Look forward to playing here in the championship game. Like, there is no greater confidence that resides in any coach than Curt Signetti. Like, that dude is full of confidence, and he should be, with the way he's coached in year 1, the way he's led now in year 2. And listen, he talked about his schedule, and that's another one of his comments. He went SEC-like, and he wanted to not challenge himself out of conference. Do they know who they are yet? Do they know what they're great at? Like, that's what's going to be interesting to see. What I know is Mendoza's a baller. His QB is really, really good. And when you talk about baller, like, that dude was 3rd in the ACC in passing yards per game, and he was that cow. Like, you remember who those other guys were? Like, you should remember pretty high on the list who those guys were. How about one was the number 1 pick, Cam Ward, and then one broke
Klubnik.
And then one broke every ACC record for last season. Syracuse, don't forget my man.
Kyle McCord.
Champagne bottle from
Yes.
our boy Fran Brown. So I think that, like, this guy's good. He's talented. He's big. And when I look at Indiana, weapons, man. They got weapons. They've had 300 rush yards plus in each game so far. Like, they know how to run the rock. They know how to space it. Mendoza can run it, even though he's a big, tall, huge sucker at 6'5". Kind of, he looks goofy, but he's not.
No, I agree with that. That's a good way of putting it.
And then the weapons, man. Like, I'm interested to see, because let's be honest, I picked Illinois, but I want you to be honest. When you watched them against Duke, they struggled a little bit, man. Illinois did not look their best in that football game, and I think this is a better version of Duke that's coming at them this week at home.
That's probably the best comp for that, and Duke obviously kind of gave that game away. The accuracy part with Mendoza versus Mensa, I think Mensa's, but he did struggle a little bit in that one. The biggest thing for me is just, you talked about, do they know who they are? I think they do, but I think Illinois definitively knows. And they are a balanced power team, almost 50-50 run pass. They don't turn it over. They're not going to beat themselves. Altmaier, veteran, have kind of been in these games now for a year and a half or so. I like the road team here. I like Illinois. The matchups are fun. All the individual matchups in this game with Surratt and Cooper on the outside, Scott at corner for Illinois, J.C. Davis versus Kamara, tackle versus edge guy, Pons, and then the Beatty receiver for Illinois. Like, all those individual matchups are going to be fun to watch in this game, but I'm trusting Altmaier in the end.
Well, and you have a reason to. I mean, I get that. When you look at Altmaier, like, he's completing 72% of his passes. Last year, he only had 2 games over 66%. Like, he is in a zone. Like, he's feeling it. He's getting the zone, auto zone. Like, that dude's in the zone, right? Like, he has been. And you talked about Beatty, Hank Beatty. That dude last year had 20 receptions for like 300 yards and 1 TD. And now he's got, he's got 19 receptions for almost 300 yards and a TD this season. Like, and a punt return guy that, like, he's kind of he's just underrated. Like, you look at a guy coming back on the year, he's like, oh, he's got 294. Like, okay, he sucks. Like, he's not going to be very good. No, they'll give it to him on reverses. They'll let him return punts. They'll let him make big plays. You know what's interesting? Neither team's, turnover worthy. Both teams take care of the football. These are very carbon copy cutter teams of each other. Like, when you look at, now the difference is, to me, the continuity of Illinois like 18 returning starters.
Yes.
By the way, only Power 4 team that returned OC, DC, head coach, and strength coach. Like that's Illinois.
Add that
like,
last element, strength coach too.
Yeah, I mean, so, and quarterback for a third straight year. So like that's 3 years in a row that they've been able to do that. Like Illinois' got it working. I am going with the speed and the playmaking out wide being the difference in this football game. Indiana at home, 6th ever top 20 matchup between two teams. 6th ever.
I'd say night game, history. Big time game like that for them. That's new territory.
Yeah, and the fun stat I got for you, Brent, with this one is last week they scored 73 against Larry Bird and company at Indiana State University, Indiana. They scored 77 last season versus Western Illinois. Last year, Indiana's basketball team they scored less than 73 points in 13 of 32 games. So the offense has put up some more points than the basketball team.
Hence why they have a new coach on basketball program.
Yeah, Omar Cooper Jr. last week, 10 receptions, 207 yards, 4 touchdowns. First Big Ten player to do that since 2015. Who is the guy that did it? 2015.
Golly.
10 receptions, 200-plus yards. Like, that's what this dude did last week.
My first thought is some Ohio State receiver.
He did it versus Indiana. Not an Ohio State receiver. Michigan receiver. I think he got
I'll say, why am I blanking on
Hugh
this?
Chesson. Like that, you would never get that.
I would never get that one.
That's why I asked
Sorry.
Yeah. But
I will say this game, in terms of mattering, this is massive for Indiana. Because they also play Oregon and Penn State.
Yeah.
Illinois does not. Illinois plays Ohio State. So this is a big time trump card, I think, that Illinois can get, or either in Indiana at least have a big time win before they go play those other teams.
Just remember
on the road, by the way.
Just remember when you're watching the game this week and when you see Cooper Jr. out wide and you see Surratt out wide, and you're like, gosh, dang, man. Like, Indiana's got speed out wide. Like, that's crazy. How do they keep winning out wide? And you're going to be like, all right, yeah, that's because they got some guys that can go. They got some transfers and some dudes that can really, really play. And that's why Indiana wins 28-24. Brent's Illinois team officially might enter that eliminated list if you wanted to, next week, if might be on teetering on it.
I don't. Like I said, I wouldn't go there because they
lose that one. It's hard to get back in it. It's going to be hard.
Maybe.
Anyways, move on. Let's go.
I'm going Illinois. We got 2 heartburn games, the close games that are going to cause some folks some indigestion. And interestingly enough, this is one that the spread has dropped throughout the week, even though Florida's coming off a loss. But Florida at Miami, which Miami is now a 3-point favorite. Coming into this game.
That's nuts, man. I don't know why it dropped. This is the first time Florida playing at Miami since 2013, which seems really weird, doesn't it? Like it seems like it's been since then. How about this though, for the urgency of the University of Florida? 7 of their next 9 games are currently in the top 15. 5 are in the top 10. 7 of their next 9 games are in the top. Ridiculous. Yes, are teams that are literally in the top 15. So, like, it's hard times.
Those last 2 losses kind of hurt.
Yeah, those last 2 losses hurt, and Florida's trying to find itself. Lagway's confidence is reeling. Like, I would love to wax poetic and give you some kind of way that Florida can win this. It's at Miami, which is a good thing for Miami, but Lagway throwing the ball 33 times last week. That's way too many. Obviously, the 5 to the other team doesn't help. But it's like I said, man, Lagway's decision-making has been the problem. And if the decision-making is the problem, you're going to get some real pressure this week with Miami. Like, I think, those guys obviously off the edge. You watch 3 and 4 come off the edge, and it's as good as duo in the country. And so paint me a picture, man. Paint me a Birmingham of how you think they're going to find a way to stay in this game and get it done.
Well, it has to be defensively.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and a question I wrote is, how do you get DJ Lagway comfortable again? Your initial thought is, okay, hey, let's run the rock. Let's run the football, take some pressure off him, more play action, things like that. Well, guess who's the number 2 overall run defense grade team in the country? That would be Miami, and their front four and just defense in general has been completely different this
How about
season.
a number to back you up, homie? Opponents have rushed for under 100 yards against them in 10 of the last 16 games since the beginning of 2024. Like, they've consistently been a brick wall on the lines of scrimmage, like the last couple seasons. So that's not.
So, like, that's going to be okay. I think you have to find a way for him to connect on a deep ball and take a shot early, because right now, like, that was his thing last year, right?
100%.
95.6 passing grade on the deep shots, 15 big time throws, 20, a bunch of touchdowns.
Cow.
But this year, he's 1 of 7.
Yeah.
1 of 7 on 20-plus yard throws.
My nickname
find a way to create
that happens. Like, that's, I mean, I'm trying. Like, Lags Bombs Away is such a good name that could we could you know, we could do the
print the shirts kind of thing.
We could print the shirts. Yeah, Miami. Speaking of Miami, we could print the shirts and make something happen, but they haven't. But Florida's defense has kept them in games, and so maybe they can again. That's what you're hoping for. But Carson Beck's been fun, and it's been different weapons, different weeks, different running backs, different weeks. Like, they've got a lot of guys that can do it. They started 9-0 last year, 4-0 in 2023. Now they're doing it again. Like, they're getting it rolling. Like, they're definitely they're an offensive team now, which is crazy to think about. Like, you're starting to depend on them to put 30 up every week. That's just who they are and what they are offensively.
So we did the reaction. We talked about Miami after the game last week, and hey, could they, should they, you know, maybe have sort of best resume, be number 1 type stuff. A lot of the Canes fans in the comments, pump the brakes. let's get through a season. This is kind of how we do things. We start off there, but
I like that, Miami fans. I like that.
Yes.
We would be doing the same thing. Like, it's when your team, you're like, well, nothing to see here. Look over here. Like, because when Miami has had some good things happen, they've also come crumbling down, i.e. last year, i.e. several years. Mark Richt, remember, had a great start to the season.
Yeah.
And they jumped off a cliff and made sure there was rocks at the bottom because they didn't want to live through that.
Yep. This is one that, when you think about what these two teams season, Florida's played great defensively, but they're not really getting after the quarterback. And Caleb Banks, he kind of missed the game and then came back and then re-injured at LSU. So he's kind of down for I don't know how long. I didn't see.
And he's their baller.
How long, but
he's their havoc guy up front, man.
So Carson Beck is the least pressured quarterback in the Power 4, and Florida is last in the Power 4 in pressure percentage.
So you're saying there's a chance.
That's not a good recipe.
31-17. All Hurricanes, baby. All Hurricanes.
I don't know if it gets to that many points, because I think they're going to try to protect Lagway more so, especially after last week. But I do think it's 27-13 kind of thing, at least the 2 touchdown. Unless Florida somehow magically finds some deep shots. Number 11, what is his name? Mizell, I think is his last name for Florida. I just know it's number 11. That guy should play more. Had a great touchdown against LSU. All right, next heartburn game. Big game in the Big Ten. Michigan.
This one's got heartburn, actually.
At Nebraska.
The last one did not have heartburn. And this one's got heartburn for both sides for different reasons. Like, this is a big game for Michigan. Like, Michigan needs this to stay in the playoff race. Their schedule is a beautiful thing. It's a thing of booty, bro. Like, it is beautiful. Like, it is very good looking down the stretch. And here's something that will blow your mind. Like, Brent, when is the last time Nebraska beat a ranked team?
Oh, I mean, is it a decade plus?
2016.
So right out of
that is the last time Nebraska beat a ranked team. That literally made me go like, habit of what? Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like you're joking. Like, I didn't even think that was real. But like, let's set the stage for this, man, because I really like this game at Nebraska. So advantage Nebraska there.
Yep.
But 5-star Dylan Raiola 2 years ago, like elite quarterback in the country. 5-star Bryce Underwood, elite quarterback in the country a year ago. Like, both this now coming together now, throwing down. Like, I love that dynamic. I think it's going to be a really, really fun game. Both teams, I think both teams are similar. Like the offenses are dink and dunk, get rid of the football. So it will come down to me who runs the football better. And if you ain't paying attention, Justice Haynes is a dude now. Like, he's a dude. And I don't know that people are talking about him, Brent, like they should. He's over 100 yards in all 3 games this season. Brent, trivia question for you. How many of those do you think he had at Alabama? How many 100-yard games do you think he had at Alabama? One in 2 seasons.
Because he had like an 80-yard run against USF or something like that.
In 2 seasons, man. So, like, he's doing his thing. He's doing his job. He's thick built. He breaks tackles. Like, he hits home runs. Like, and then on the other side, I think one of the guys that has really stuck out, probably the most when you look at Nebraska, like running the football, Emmett Johnson. Like, he's making plays. Now, he's smaller. He's a little bit more he's definitely skinnier, but he's making people miss and making plays in the run game. So, like, who can run the football and be the most effective? And that's where, like, I give the advantage a little bit to Justice Haynes and his physicality, man, because I like what I've seen from him breaking tackles and making plays for the offense.
And it was Central Michigan, right? Yeah, Central Michigan that they played last week. But Bryce Underwood using his legs.
Yeah.
9 for 114, 87 of those were on scrambles last week. And we talked about that after the Oklahoma game. Like, hey, how do you, like, they don't have explosive weapons all over the place on the outside to kind of fit his arm. So how do you get explosive? You use his legs. And I think, and he can do that definitely way more than the guy on the other side can.
God,
so that to me is
a hater.
I'm not a hater.
Such a hater. You're a hater.
By the way,
you hate Dylan Raiola.
Do you realize he has the best adjusted completion percentage in the Power 4?
Oh, look at
86%.
You. Nice. Look at you. That a boy. Now crap on him again because you're going to go right back to it. Hey, trivia question for you, mister. You mentioned Bryce Underwood. I got another one for you. Ready?
Okay.
So Bryce Underwood last week you talked about, he went 235 and 114. Last Michigan QB to go 200 and 100 in a season.
In a season?
Or in a game. In a game.
I'm saying
I know who you're going to say and you're going to be wrong. So
it's not Robinson.
Correct. Denard Robinson is easily the one that comes to mind.
I mean, did J.J. McCarthy somehow get that?
No. 2013, Devin Gardner.
Okay, Gardner. Still, Rich Rod was coaching then, right? Was that Rich Rod as the coach that year, or is that?
That's your boy. That's your boy. You should know that.
By the way, Michigan interception in every game. Raiola hasn't thrown one yet, so do they get another one this week? But it was good to see that the Marlon Klein played again. He wasn't really a factor.
No, but that's Michigan. A big deal. Do you know he's the top? He's the top 5 fastest guy on the team.
No, I did not know that.
Yes. Like Klein, he's a big 6'5" tight end, and he looks like he's a clotter, but he's literally the top 5 on speed in the team. And you're right, like they missed him in the Oklahoma game because he made so much of a difference. It was week 1, like I know, but like you watch him, you don't have to put the ball right here, right? Like you can put it anywhere with that catch radius with that big sucker, and he can block, like really, really good blocker, one of the better tight ends in the country. So we'll be, and you know how that works, Brent. Like that's not an injury with the ankle that you come back and you're 100 miles an hour the next week. Like
you get some snaps and now you're good to go.
Yeah, it's going to take time, and a lot of times what sucks is you get that one little tweak and you're kind of feeling it again and rehabbing it again. But bottom line, Justice Haynes is the difference to me in this football game. It's 24-21. It's a really, really close game. Both quarterbacks play well. But the biggest reason I think Justice Haynes does this, week 1, man, I got to go back to Cincinnati. You watch that game. Cincinnati rushed for over 200 yards. When I look at Nebraska's front, man, it is very strange to me. Brent, they don't have a 300-pounder, like on the D-line. I'm so used to like big hulking polar bear up front the past couple years, and just those big strong dudes, man, they're not there. Like they're not. It's going to be interesting to watch them up front and how they can affect and stop Justice Haynes and Bryce Underwood. And I think that will be their biggest problem in that football game.
I'm going with Michigan as well, mainly because of Bryce Underwood's legs and him scrambling and making plays with his
legs. Or leg? Which one?
Legs, plural. One in front of the other to get yardage. All right, veggie trade game. You might skip it because it's late, and then you got Illinois, Indiana, but it's actually going to be a really good game. That's Arizona State at Baylor. Didn't get to play last year, So they get each other this year. And if you like watching really good quarterbacks, this is a good game to watch. But they haven't played as good thus far. That's the thing for me with each QB, that it hasn't been quite right. They've fought and kept their teams in games and won games, but still not really, I think, clicking on all cylinders either guy.
Can we say that about every quarterback that we talked about in the preseason outside of Mateer? Like Manning, Klubnik, Sellers, like we can keep going down the list. It's a common theme. And something here's what I'll say about Sam Levitt. First of all, you know I'm in his fan club. Like I talked about him last year and how much I loved him. You talked about him, how much you loved him. Like the dude's a dynamic athlete, and he broke out a spin move last week. I was like, oh wow, that was really, really nice. It looked like the video game. Like he can make dynamic plays. He wants to make too many dynamic plays right now, and I want him to make the simple plays. Like same thing I said with Caleb Williams, man. Like don't be the guy. Like you don't have to be the hero all the time. You can check it down. Their running game has been really, really good. Despite losing Scatteraboo, they're still pounding the rock. Like they're using 3 guys and they're using Levitt. Like, but it's still really good. It's very efficient the way they run the football. Tyson's still the man, but there's still no production outside of that. And they've got to figure that out. They got to move the sticks. They got to continue to pound it. But it's just been, you know, it's just like anything else with Klubnik we talked about, man. Like you wanted Levitt to take the next step and to get better. And I don't feel like he has. I don't feel like he's better at the quarterback spot. I still think they're trying to find themselves. And for that, I think this one is one of the harder ones to pick because Sawyer's second in the country in passing. Like he's done a good job with that. He's been accurate at times. Like both teams, I don't think have played to their best potential. But to me, Arizona State's best potential is higher than Sawyer Robertson and Baylor. At Baylor makes it a little bit, you know, here. I think this is pretty high scoring. I got Arizona State 31-27. I don't have a ton of confidence, but I do think Sawyer Robinson is hot and cold sometimes, and the style of Arizona State defense is more chill and like make you earn it, make you dink and dunk, and Triggs a little banged up. So I'll take the Sun Devils.
I'm going with Arizona State as well, mainly because I trust Baylor's defense less. And by the way, you talked about the running game with Arizona State. They just need to run it more. Like last year, they were a 52% run team. Now they're like 45. Like get them more balance because they've been very successful running the ball. They need to get just use it more, do it more. All right, last couple games for chips and dip. Not the marquee games, but we are very much fired up to dig into it. First one, Tulane at Ole Miss. Big game for the G5.
Big game. Tulane is by far the overwhelming favorite right now when it comes to odds as the Group of 5 team, which, you know, I think last week everybody was pretty comfortable saying it was USF. They are by far. Who is the second in odds, you think, Brent? Might not should have mentioned USF. I might not should have told us that.
If it's not them, I would have said Memphis, who also has a big game this week.
Boise's still second in odds.
Hanging.
Yes. So that's kind of crazy. But this is big for Tulane. Tulane has 2 Power 4 wins. Like, so they're trending in the right direction. And it's just, I just, if you don't like Summerall, you got problems. Like, I just love the way they're coached with Tulane because this ain't nothing like it was last year. Like, this looks totally different. The QB run ad nauseum. Like, Jake Retzlaff, like, he just got the playbook, bro. He just got it. He's like, okay, cool. Like, what's this play called? I don't even know. Okay, I'm here. Like,
keep it and run it.
Keep it and run it. And they're doing, he's got 40 carries through 3 games. And
6th most attempts, by the way.
Yes. Like, and he's also got 10 explosives and 6 touchdowns. Like, he is. It's crazy to watch him because you thought he was a good athlete at BYU, but now you go down to the Group of 5 and you're like, ooh, me a great athlete. Like, I can run faster than these people. I can break tackles. Like, it's been interesting to watch, and they're leaning on the QB run game. He gets outside the pocket, but when they need a play in the red area, like, it's like, okay, I got it. Like, I'm going to run the football, and it's been fun to watch them kind of develop. And you know, it's if you watched Ole Miss a week ago, Brent, Taylor Green's still running.
Yeah.
Like, he just ran for 20 again. Like, so that says to me, that goes, okay, like I give Tulane a puncher's chance because Ole Miss's defense looks a lot more like years past than last year so far.
I still think Ole Miss's front, and it's not as deep as it was a year ago, but it still has depth that they'll sort of eventually win out with that. The only thing with Tulane too is if they actually catch the ball. Number one in the FBS.
Is that
number one
football?
In the FBS? And by the way, in drop percentage, and it's not a low number. 21% drop rate right now for Tulane.
That's ungood.
That's
very ungood. That's not helping your quarterback.
Your 20 percentage points.
What was last year's
completion percentage?
What was Georgia last year and Kansas State, who were two of the worst?
11%, about half that.
Jeez. Yeah.
Like, so it's been bad.
Bro, I know I just got here, but like, you suck. I ain't throwing you the ball. Who can I trust? Like, who's going to catch the rock?
9 different guys, by the way, have a drop. I did see that they said, Lane said, Coach Kiffin, anticipate Austin being fine and being our starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Do you think that's good?
No, because I don't think he's healthy. They have LSU coming up, and if I have a chance to beat LSU and be successful, I'm going to need the healthiest version of Austin Simmons. Listen, Austin Simmons, kudos to him. He wasn't ready last week. Now, Lane didn't tell anybody that. We're going to have Lane Kiffin on before the LSU game, by the way. I texted him with him, so he's going to come on and join us, which would be awesome. Lane's the best. But he kind of played it coy. And then this Trinidad, like, just what a man's man of a name, by the way. He doesn't look like a Trinidad. Like, I wouldn't picture him as a Trinidad because he's kind of a littler fella, but like name flex of all name flexes. Comes in and throws for over 350 and rushes for 2 tutties. By the way, only 2 people in the history of Ole Miss football has done that. Could you name any of them? That would be interesting.
Is one of them a Manning?
No. Would you have gone Arch with that? Because you dang sure wouldn't have gone Eli.
Yeah, wasn't going Eli. I was thinking Dad on that one.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Bo Wallace? Maybe?
Bo Wallace is a really good guess, but it's not the
Chad Kelly?
Swag Kelly? Will you say the man's name right? It's Swag Kelly.
Okay, not bad.
You remember Jordan Ta'amu?
Yes, I do. Ta'amu, right?
Ta'amu? Like, I don't know how you.
I think that's how you say
correctly say it. Yeah, those two. So it's crazy. I think Simmons needs to get healthy, bottom line, because you got to have him healthy if you're going to play against LSU and be successful, especially with that defense. But Trinidad more than proved himself. And I was talking to their GM actually today and yesterday, and I was just like, dude, how did you find that guy? Like, how did you find Trinidad? And he was like, we were looking for a backup, and we saw the sucker play, and we saw him win a national championship, and then we thought he was pretty good. And then he got on campus, and we were like, holy cow. Like, he's not pretty good. Like, he's really good. But they thought they saw the wiggle, they saw the calm, they saw him playing big games. So, like, if we need a guy, man, he's our guy. And they've been right, man. And he has really impressed them. And obviously last week doing things, as the first time starter that was big time. So, I mean, you definitely go with Trinidad this week. But at least you got 2 guys that you can believe in. But I mean, did he play better than Simmons? Yes. Simmons made mistakes. So, but when you spend a lot of money in one direction, and that's your future, you go that way. But Trinidad, balling, good for him.
Yep. Chambliss, by the way, is his last name.
Hey, no. Forget Chambliss. Trinidad. That's a gangster name. Hey, I got Ole Miss 35. I got 23 for Tulane because they're still going to give up points. But Ole Miss is going to get tutties in the red.
I think Ole Miss is going to get in the 40s here, and it's going to be 42 to 27 kind of game.
Sounds like you just made that up. It doesn't sound like you came prepared with a score.
I did not come prepared with an exact score.
Okay.
I feel I just kind of feel it out and just throw some numbers out there.
That's fine.
Because I know nobody.
35.
Your name's on the show. Nobody cares about what my score is. They care about what your score is.
Anyways, moving right along. Last game.
No, we don't have any cooler games, so this is the last game. Michigan State at USC. We're going to see if USC's just had some empty calories these first 3 games. Now, Purdue was a very unique circumstance because they had a long delay. But they took care of business. Did you see Jaw Jarrett get himself a scoop and score?
Are you talking about the thick 6?
Yes, the thick six, the
God,
very long.
We have to announce that. Like when you get a thick six, that's called when you got a guy over 300 and he gets his hands on the ball any kind of way and he goes a long way and they time him with a calendar or a sundial for him to get from the 50 all the way in. Like it's called a thick six, and it was absolutely fantastic. It took a while, but he got there.
He got there. I'm curious which sort of number 2 receiver can have a big game here, because you got Lemon and Marsh on the with USC, and then Marsh for Michigan State. Who's the number 2 guy with Lane, and then Amari Kelly, that's a Middle Tennessee transfer for Michigan State, can have some level of game or production in this game. But USC been very balanced, by the way, almost 50-50 run pass.
They've been pounding people.
Top 10, and obviously competition matters, but they're top 10 both explosive running plays and explosive passing plays. So let's just keep seeing it against as they get into the thick of Big Ten schedule. They got, I think, Illinois next week.
Yeah. This is a good one to show me something for USC. I feel like we're going to find out, because Michigan State's 3-0. Like, I know people don't know that, and people aren't watching them. We are, because we love football. And they had the big OT win, great play call on the goal line. It was a fantastic play call.
Against BC.
Yeah. But Aiden Childs is the guy for me. I want to see. Datlin came in a year ago for USC, and we talked about him at nauseum. And I have a lot of coaches that I respect that talk about him very high on the list of guys that they respect for being a defensive coordinator. And how much are they better on that side of the football with the improved depth, with the big boys? Like, can they own the football game? Because Aiden Childs, if you look at last year, Aiden Childs, you go, he stinks. Like, I don't want him. Like, I think he completed I think it was 59% of his passes, and his touchdown to interception was almost equal. It was 13-11. And then this year, man, a different bird, scrambles, makes plays with his legs, but also, throwing the ball down the field a little bit, making better decisions, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Like, he's got some playmaking to him, Brent. And so I think that can be fun to watch against USC, and this will go away to determining, okay, like USC, they beat Michigan State. I think they get ranked this week. Like, I think they'll pop into the polls, and but this could be an entertaining game. But I think we learn about USC, and it's at USC, so there's going to be a lot of excitement and a ruckus crowd. Like, all 13 of them are going to be jacked up and ready to rock and roll, and it's not a great home atmosphere. I want them to have a great home atmosphere. They deserve it, but I think they take care of business big against Michigan State, and then they get into the polls. I got 34-17.
I went 34-20.
Oh, nice. You wrote that down, actually. Good for you.
Yes, I had that on my sheet there.
All right, good thing. We get to the.
We don't have any cooler games this week that are sort of on ice very quick. There's a lot of other just fun games to watch this weekend, but these are the main ones that we're going to watch, especially with the fact that you got the ranked matchups back to back in the 3 windows. And then next week it's a lot of big games.
Next week it's big time. Next week's big time.
But these are going to be these are great football games.
Yeah.
Like true football, especially like Texas Tech and Utah. That is going to be, to me, one of the funnest matchups of the season because of the D-line versus the great O-line.
Mm-hmm. Well,
all I'm going to watch.
And listen, Brent, I'm not going to completely, take any shine off of this, because you do the picks and you put that together, and I'm thankful that you do it. It's kind of a travesty that you left Missouri and South Carolina out. Like, that's kind of the fact that didn't work into there at some point. Like, I think that's a big miss for you.
We're also going to talk a lot about Missouri and a different little thing that we do.
I know.
So that's.
Like, I got you, but like that.
I feel good about Missouri, by the way.
That's the thing. I think you feel one way about South Carolina, another way. Okay, here's the thing. Hey guys, we are growing like crazy, and we are thankful for it. Like, subscribers are just zooming every single week. Hit the like, hit the rate, hit the subscribe, all that stuff, man, to help us continue to grow. We love this, man. This is a lot of fun. doing the picks this week. We'll be here Saturday night too, because we're gonna recap all the games, and then Sunday that will come out as a podcast. Like, we're literally gonna cover everything. If you missed something because you had a wedding, first of all, you have bad friends. You should not have a wedding during football season. But if you do, you can just tune into the podcast and we'll tell you everything that happened. But we appreciate you helping us, zoom up and really grow and get better. And we will see you guys very soon.